Hi friends, good morning. Welcome to Shankaran AI Study Circle. This is Dr. Harinath Reddy, Director of the Institute. Today in this particular video, we will try to discuss about why did India adopt parliamentary democracy and why not a presidential democracy. So there can be a number of questions on parliamentary democracy versus presidential democracy. So the questions can be in the following manner. Why did India adopt parliamentary democracy? Why not presidential democracy? This is one kind of question. Second kind of question, what are the merits of the parliamentary democracy over presidential democracy? Then, should a parliamentary democracy in India be replaced with a presidential democracy? For this question, you need to identify what are the problems with the parliamentary democracy, what are the demerits of parliamentary democracy, what are the merits of the presidential democracy, but still, why parliamentary democracy is more better suited for a Indian context. And again, in case presidential democracy is more suited to Indian democracy, to the Indian context, give suggestions for improving the parliamentary democracy in India. So questions can be asked in any way. Remember, it can also be a topic of general essay. So why did India adopt parliamentary democracy? Why not presidential democracy? What are the merits of parliamentary democracy over presidential democracy? Should India replace parliamentary democracy with a presidential democracy? Give suggestions for improving parliamentary democracy in India in the context of the demerits of parliamentary democracy. So a question can be asked in any way like what I said just now, right? But before we get started, before we answer this question, the students must know the differences between parliamentary democracy and presidential democracy. So what is the basis? On what basis? Democracies are broadly classified into parliamentary democracy and presidential democracy. So it is on the basis of the relationship, between executive and legislative branches, On the basis of the relationship between the executive and legislative branches, democracies are broadly classified into two: parliamentary democracy, presidential democracy. Then what is a parliamentary democracy? If there is a fusion of executive and legislative branches, then that democracy is called parliamentary democracy. If there is separation of executive and legislative branches, it is called a presidential democracy. Then what do you mean by fusion? What do you mean by fusion of executive and legislative branches? For example, India had a parliamentary democracy at the union level. It also had a parliamentary democracy at the state level. In India, at the union level, who forms the executive? The Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers, they form part of executive branch. Parliament, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, together form part of legislative branch. In India, the Prime Minister and all the ministers, they shall be members of Parliament. In addition to this, in India, the executive branch of the government, it is drawn from the legislature. Soon after the general elections, a political party or a group of political parties or a coalition of political parties commanding absolute majority in the lower house, they will form the government. So in other words, the executive branch of the government, it is drawn from the legislature. It is formed from the legislature. That's why we say fusion. And in addition to this, in parliamentary democracy, as the executive branch of the government is formed from the legislature, it is accountable to the parliament. There is something called The principle of collective responsibility. The principle of collective responsibility. The principle of collective responsibility. The entire cabinet headed by Prime Minister shall take decisions together. They are collectively responsible to the lower house in the Indian Parliament, that is the Lok Sabha. And Lok Sabha can remove the government by passing no confidence motion. By passing no confidence motion. So these are the features of parliamentary democracy. So a parliamentary democracy is one where there is a fusion of executive and legislative branches. The executive branch is drawn from the legislature. The Prime Minister and the ministers, they shall be members of Parliament, and the executive branch is accountable to the Parliament. Parliament exercises control over the executive branch. In addition to this, the legislative branch, that is the lower house in the Parliament, can remove the government by passing no confidence motion. In addition to this, in a parliamentary democracy, there is a greater harmony, cooperation between the executive and legislative branches. So broadly, these are the features of parliamentary democracy. On the other hand, in a presidential democracy, there is a separation. In a presidential democracy, there is a separation of executive and legislative branches. For example, in America, the American president forms the executive branch. The American Congress, which is the American Parliament is known by the name Congress. It contains two houses. The upper house is Senate. The lower house is called House of Representatives. So in America, the American president shall not be a member of American Parliament. In America, the American president shall not be a member of American Parliament. In India, the Prime Minister and all the ministers, they shall be members of Parliament. In America, the American president is elected separately by an electoral college for a fixed tenure of 4 years. In India, the executive branch, it is formed from the legislature. A political party or a group of political parties commanding absolute majority in the lower house will form the government. And in India, a prime minister who commands majority in the lower house can advise the president to dissolve the lower house. But in America, the American president doesn't have the power to dissolve the lower house. In India, the president can dissolve the lower house. So that's why in India there is fusion of executive and legislative branches. But in America, the American president had a fixed tenure of 4 years, and he is chosen by an electoral college. He is not elected by the American Parliament. And he cannot be removed by the American Parliament by passing no confidence motion. No. In addition to this, the American president cannot dissolve the lower house. So here you see clear separation of executive and legislative branches. The American president is not part of American Parliament. American president is not a member of American Parliament. That's why we say America is an example for presidential democracy. America is an example for presidential democracy. So a presidential democracy, it is based on the separation of the executive and legislative branches. Parliamentary democracy, it is based on the fusion of executive and legislative branches. Then let us answer the next question. The next question is, why did India choose parliamentary democracy? Why not presidential democracy? In the Constituent Assembly debates, if you see, there are people like K.M. Munshi who favored presidential democracy for India. In the Constituent Assembly, there were people like K.M. Munshi who argued for a presidential democracy for India. But a majority of the members of the Constituent Assembly, they were in favor of a parliamentary democracy not presidential democracy. Then what are the reasons for India choosing parliamentary democracy rather than presidential democracy? See, the biggest merit of presidential democracy is stability. The American president is elected for a fixed tenure of 4 years. Within 4 years, he cannot be removed by the American president by passing no confidence motion. But in India, the Lok Sabha by passing no confidence motion can remove the government. So that's why parliamentary democracy, the demerit is political instability. Presidential democracy, the biggest merit is political stability. Despite political instability being a demerit of parliamentary democracy, why did India choose parliamentary democracy? There were a number of reasons. The first reason, legacy, British legacy. So before India got independence on 15th August 1947, India was under the British rule. So Britishers have ruled over India for more than 1.5 century. So when the Britishers have ruled over India, they have introduced parliamentary institutions in India, and we were used to these parliamentary institutions. So that's one reason. Indians were already used to parliamentary institutions which were introduced by the Britishers in India. That's one reason, not the most important reason, one reason. The second reason, accountability. This is one of the important reasons why India chose parliamentary democracy. So I said the biggest merit of presidential democracy is political stability, but the biggest merit of parliamentary democracy is greater accountability. The reason is, I told, in a parliamentary democracy, the executive is drawn from the legislature and it is accountable to the parliament. In India, parliament meets 3 times in a year: budget session, monsoon session, winter session. Every time the parliament meets, the prime minister and the ministers, they attend the sessions of the parliament. And in the parliament, we have tools like question hour, 0 hour, confidence motion, no confidence motion, cut motion, etc. Through these tools, the government is made accountable to the people on a continuous basis. So when compared with presidential democracy, parliamentary democracy is much more accountable and responsive to the needs of the people. So this is the biggest virtue of parliamentary democracy. On the contrary, the presidential democracy is less accountable compared to the parliamentary democracy, because the American president is not accountable to the American parliament. The American president need not attend the sessions of the American parliament. He cannot be removed by the American parliament by passing no confidence motion. So framers of the Indian Constitution gave more importance to accountability. We cannot have both. I told, the merit of presidential democracy is political stability, but the merit of parliamentary democracy is greater accountability. So in one system we cannot have both. We have to choose between stability and accountability. So the framers of the Indian Constitution chose accountability for stability. So why did India choose parliamentary democracy? The second reason, it is more accountable and it is more responsible and it is more responsive. This is the second reason. And the third reason, in a parliamentary democracy, there is a fusion of executive and legislative branches. And as a result, there is a greater cooperation, coordination, harmony between the executive and legislative branches. See, the executive provides leadership to the legislature. For example, in the Indian Parliament or in the British Parliament, most of the bills were introduced by the government. The Prime Minister and his cabinet ministers introduce most of the bills which are called government bills. And as the government enjoys majority in the Parliament, chances of these bills getting passed is very high. So in a parliamentary democracy, one more important advantage is there is a greater cooperation, coordination between the executive and legislative branches. So the framers of the Indian Constitution felt that if presidential democracy is taken up for India, this is a problem. In America, there were a number of instances wherein there was a deadlock between the executive and legislative branches. President wanted a certain bill to be passed, but his party doesn't command majority in the American parliament, and if an opposition political party is in majority in the American parliament, then American parliament will not cooperate with the policy of the American president. This will lead to deadlock, conflict, and that is not good for a democracy. So the framers of the Indian Constitution wanted to avoid such a deadlock or conflict. That's why we chose parliamentary democracy. In addition to this, the next most important advantage is collegial executive. Collegial executive. Collegial executive. Collegial executive. What do you mean by this? In a presidential democracy, the entire executive power is conferred on a single individual. In a presidential democracy, the entire executive power is conferred on a single individual, that is the American president. So there is a great danger that he may become a dictator. But in a parliamentary democracy, the executive power is conferred on a group of individuals called the cabinet, headed by Prime Minister. So here there are several advantages with a collegial executive. One advantage, we can prevent dictatorial tendencies. If one person assumes all the powers, he may become very powerful and can become a dictator. That is not allowed in a parliamentary democracy, because the executive power is conferred on the entire cabinet headed by Prime Minister. Prime Minister is the first among the equals. He cannot take decisions individually. The decision making shall be done collectively in a parliamentary democracy. That's one important principle I told. Principle of collective responsibility. The entire cabinet headed by Prime Minister shall make decisions. So individual decisions of the Prime Minister are not accepted. So that's why collegial executive will prevent dictatorial tendencies in the Indian context. And then the next most important reason is India is a country with a lot of diversity. So we can accommodate people of different groups in the power sharing agreement. For example, in the Indian cabinet, there can be a person from majority community, minority community. There can be a person from North India, there can be a person from South India, there can be a person from the upper caste, there can be a person from the lower caste. Men can be accommodated, women can be accommodated. In other words, the cabinet can be constituted in such a way that it reflects the diversity of India. So once there is power sharing among the different religious communities, among the different caste communities, among different regions, then protecting the unity and integrity of India is possible, because the aspirations of the people will be satisfied. This is another important advantage of collegial executive. Collegial executive. In addition to this, in parliamentary democracy there is one more advantage. Without going for fresh election, change of government is possible. If the present government has lost majority in the lower house, the government will resign. The Prime Minister may invite the leader of opposition to form the government by seeking support from the members of the parliament. So without going for fresh elections, it is possible that there can be a change in the government. So these are some of the advantages of parliamentary democracy, and because of these advantages, the framers of the Indian Constitution chose parliamentary democracy in place of presidential democracy.